It's patina time.
Damn!
Today, I'm gonna start a new project. Well, kind of already started it in the last video, but this is the art part. This is the door that we pulled off that 57 Tri 5 Chevy wagon. This is the door that I'm gonna get made all special like Blake over at the Sweet Patina. I'm kind of excited because it's kind of cold right now, but I have a heater in my garage and I finally get to use it, so this should be fun. So I think the game plan is I'm going to strip this thing down and make it as light as possible to my understanding, and hopefully this is the intended use. This is going to be a display item for Blake and his dad when they're on the road hitting all the car shows and stuff. So I got to figure out how to secure the window, make it as light as possible, get rid of all the crap we don't need, and it looks like there's quite a bit of crap on the inside of this thing, and I'll show you that as we go through. But I'm probably stripping all the mechs, maybe cutting out some metal to lighten it up, and what I'd really like to do is I'd really like to figure out how to build a caster frame that's collapsible so they can get this thing in and out of the wagon. But the idea was that on the front surface of this, we're gonna give it the business and exploit the patina on it. But we're gonna get a logo on there, and then I figured the glass was a really cool opportunity for them to display all the stickers that they sell in the booth. So I got my work cut out for me. But it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully nothing bites me or rips me open, but you know, man, that's part of the game. So I'm gonna get this thing soaked down and stripped down and figure out what I'm gonna do with it. So man, hang in there. We'll get some heat going real quick. Oh yeah, 220 in the garage isn't just for your welder. So stay tuned. Alright, let's see what kind of goodies we got. Do us a little bit of treasure hunting. What do we got in there? Oh! Man down, man down, man down. Gross.
You're sick! You're sick! Why would you do that to me? I'm just kidding you, pal.
Gonna lose 5 pounds just by cleaning this damn thing out. I think it's time for us to get the shop vac. guess you could say that really sucked, huh?
It certainly does suck.
Got hosed. But looks pretty clean to me. At least a lot cleaner than it was. So we're gonna let all this stuff soak and figure out how we're gonna make a retention system to keep this window up. Probably just tack weld something or some screws. We want to keep it up, but we want to keep it from moving too. It's kind of flopping around right now because all the window felt is gone. And you know, Blake and his dad travel around the country in that wagon, and we don't want this thing flopping around while they're doing that. But I think I got an idea or two. Not gonna lie, they kicked my butt a little bit, but we got it done. Had to drill out the hinges for a couple reasons. They were put on in 1957 and they've been sitting outside forever, so they're a little stubborn. Hit them with a bit of lubricant, a little bit of heat. Tried to get them to break and they wouldn't break. I didn't have the right size Phillips bit for it. I was hitting them with a number 2 and it's a number 3 size Phillips. Found a number 3 size Phillips, but it was a cheap one. It worked on 2 and then it broke. So I just drilled them out. But they're out. Window mech is out. All the unnecessary stuff is out. So I'm gonna clean up now and get back at it probably tomorrow. But again, the idea was to lighten the door because it's gonna be on the road, and fix the glass to where it's secure but it can be used. My idea is once the door has been designed, logoed, distressed, patina sauced, Blake can put all his stickers on the door. So as the store goes through the other shows, or all the shows, he's got a sticker display. So why not, right? So I'm gonna get on this right now. Got a lot of cleanup to do, metal shavings everywhere. You know, unfortunately, we do our laundry in the garage. Ta-da! So in the event that one of my girls is out here barefoot, we can't have them stepping on stuff. So I'm gonna get at that. I'm gonna finish up some pudding, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. All right, now the fun stuff. We get to see what lies beneath. So if you guys take a peek here, got all kinds of stuff going on here. We got oxidation, we got rust, we got pitting, and we want to keep all of that, at least a little bit, but we do want to kind of knock it down just so that it's receptive to enamel. I would like to try to smooth out some of this rough stuff. I don't mind that it's there. Patina is kind of the whole point, but I think we could do better. Plus I want to see if we can get some of this color to come back through. So I'm going to hit this with some CLR and a gray pad and see what we can get up. I'm not going to get into it real hard with this because we don't want to leave a bunch of swirls. We just want to lightly lift that oxidation and find out what kind of beauty lies within. So let's check it out. I think that's a good angle for you guys. I'm just using a little bit of CLR, Fresh Scent, Brilliant Bath, Foaming Action Cleaner. So let's get you a little sample right here. And you can leave this stuff on for a minute or two. I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. What I am going to do though is I'm going to throw some gloves on, just because this isn't the funnest stuff in the world to play with. It'd probably be smart if you were in a ventilated area. I've got fans, but I'm not going to kick them on right now or else you wouldn't hear me. But I do have a door open. So again, we're just going to give it a little massage. And this massage will definitely have a happy ending. But this should lift up all calcification, oxidation, and knock down some of that rust too. So we can smooth it out just a little bit. I can already tell through this foam that it's coming back. Alright, let's see what we got here. Old towels are the best so you don't burn all your shop towels. What do we got? Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that. Check that out. You can see the difference. That's going to be awesome. That worked exceptionally well. I'm super stoked on how that looks. Blake, dude, you're going to dig it. It's so much fun. I can't wait for all of our viewers to check this thing out. It is undergoing a transformation. So I'm going to go ahead and hyperlapse this and get at it. It has been a minute. Well, a whole bunch of minutes, really. Just busy, you know, life, family, job, all that stuff getting in the way. But regardless, we're back. So we're gonna do probably a couple things today, and without getting long-winded, basically we got to get a giddy up on the sweet patina door. We've got the indoor work area, right? We've got the grinder and the drill press and the workbench and the vise and the welder, but all the cars are in the way. So the question could be had that, is it gonna start? Can I get it outside and work inside? And then the second option, which I haven't decided which one we're doing yet, is we go outside. Come out here to the back. And this is sort of my catch-all. And it's awesome outside. We move blue, move most of this stuff, and we get cracking that way and work outside. Man, it's really nice out there. I think we're gonna work outside. So let me get some things out of the way, get our situation sorted, and we'll set up and we'll get to it. And I'll let you know what we're gonna do here, so stay tuned. How about that? She's always trusty. We gotta set the choke on her though. But man. She's thirsty. We gotta give her a little bit of gasoline. Good old Blue Seal. She does not disappoint. I have not been good to her. She's lonely. She's dirty. Got some sagging headliner. Man. I have been a bad car dad. We're gonna get her out in the sunshine. Maybe we're gonna squirt her off a little bit too, so she deserves it. She's a good girl. So I'm going to get all set up here. And, I think we're going to hose this this truck off real quick because she's not looking so hot, but she should. She deserves it. Let's give her a quick little bath. Probably seems a little bit silly, but I'm a big believer in setting the mood. So I want to optimize my creative element in this space. And also we got to take into consideration how far my welder is going to reach. So let's move this over here, and we'll kind of put this guy right here. And ambiance, that's what we're going for. Not only are we working on today's door, but why not give us a reminder of how much work we're actually behind on. Well, not really. This is all extra stuff, but it will be painted. And it will be available at some point. You know me, all the time in the world. And I see a little stash of flammables here in the corner, so I'm gonna go ahead and move some stuff around and do a little bit of more leaf blowing. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, man, that kind of blows. It sure does. So I have a framed sheet over here, 3/16 steel. Wow. And it's not light, that's for sure. But this is gonna be my welding table for today. This used to be a sign easel made out of metal, so that I could use my pounce machine on it. But it also works for painting stuff, cutting stuff, and welding stuff. There we go. All right. So first and foremost, we need to make a display stand for the Sweet Patina door. And if I can find it and put it into this video, you'll see that we kind of came up with an idea here on the scribble board. But instead of a full square like this, I'm not left-handed at all, so instead of that, I think we're gonna do something more like this. We're gonna do a leg, a brace, a leg, and then some uprights. Now these uprights right here, they're either gonna be receiving or the receiving end will be in the other piece. I'm not sure yet. I gotta measure some tubing and make sure. And I'm sorry if I keep looking off camera. I feel like I should be looking over here where the red dot is, but the camera's over here. Damn iPhones. Anyway, back to this. All right, So the idea is square tubing and more square tubing that will come down and fit in, or we'll flip-flop that, fit up into the bigger piece of tubing. So we're gonna measure some stuff and see what we got. Now the idea here is to kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna show you in a minute here that I've got like this weight sled for weightlifting. And I know you're like, you must work out a lot because you got like this physique of Atlas, but I actually don't work out at all. I've had my gym outside now for probably close to about 6 years, and that's terrible. But if you look here, here's our weight sled. Those are slam balls. It's a good funnel holder though. All right, once upon a time, when I bought all this stuff from a buddy, this is the weight sled doohickey that he concocted. 6 steel casters, holds weight plates, which is super cool, but you gotta take all the weights off to get to the bottom ones, and you're limited. So the idea is we're gonna lop off half of this, square it back up maybe, or cut out the center section. No, so we're going to cut this right where these casters are, cut this a little bit shorter right here, relocate a tube on the angle here, then we're going to take an upright like this and make a tree. So I'm going to measure some stuff here so we can see when we get to our inside portion to the door. What is this? This is, let's see here, 1.5 outer diameter, and this is a 1 3/4 inner diameter. Okay, so we know that one will fit over the other. So are we going to harvest it from this, or probably making your guys' head spin right now? Another part of this weight system is this tubing right here, which is the same stuff, 1.5. All right. So I'm gonna unload this thing, set the weights off to the side, which need to be all cleaned up because they're going inside anyway. And we're gonna get chopping and figuring and measuring and cutting and welding. You know, the wife says she likes when I breathe like this, and I don't know why. That makes one of us. Oh well. Gotta grab us a few things here. This place is a mess. All right. Angle grinder, a bat tray. All right, I don't know why I just turned Australian there for a second, but hey, you know, whatever. I think we're gonna go for perfectly square. Got our tape measure. We have here, we have 22. 22. So if we're gonna follow this weld pattern, we're actually gonna subtract from that 22 the thickness of this tube, which is 1.5. So we'll take 1.5 inches off of this guy. Let me show you something real quick. Get a little closer. Closer. No. All right, let me show you a little something here. All right, can you see what I'm doing here? I can't see if you can see. I think you can see. All right, so when it comes to marking something, a lot of guys will just go boop, right? All right, so that marks at an angle. So which part of that mark is correct for the measurement? Is it this side or is it this side? Well, you don't know. So when you do your measurements, 22, you make a V, right? And where that tip of that V is,
Just the tip.
it's pointing to the spot. That's where your line goes. That's where I do enjoy repurposing stuff, though. Doesn't cost you nothing but a little bit of sweat equity. You feel better about it. And you cleared up your workspace a little bit because shit can pile up. Speaking of piles, what's up, Mr. Pile? How you doing? That pony's looking pretty sweet that you got going on there. Next time I'm out there, we're gonna have to take that bad ride for a spin.
You have them spinning tires, do you?
Zip, zip, zam. But what if your table isn't level? Well, we're not building a show truck here, we're building a weight tree. Okay, now we need to cut this bar off of these. And we're probably going to use this as our T for the other project, so I think it'll all work out great. Alright, now we just got to clean up our surfaces that we're going to mate. That, and we're all cleaned up. Now we're gonna do us a little tacking and stacking. All right, man, it will hold. So our layout here for the plates, which is our next thing, so we know how tall our upright needs to be. I think that'll work. All right, let's find some material, chop it up, weld it up, and move on to the second part of this thing so we can get this door knocked out. Haven't painted the door yet, just because, oh, sorry about that. Just because if I'm going to be banging this thing around and slinging metal and everything else, we don't want to damage the door or the glass in the door. There's a close-up of the wagon for you. Now, when I said I'm looking for a wagon, that's not what I had in mind. So
So funny, I forgot to laugh!
This 4x4 tubing here. You know, the camera may give you the illusion that it's pretty tight around here, but that's mostly true. But you know, we got a nice little spot to work out when it's nice outside. And I ain't afraid of the heat neither, so let's get this thing chopped up, shall we? Let's check this thing out real quick. Get you the zoom. I always feel like making stupid sound effects when I do that. Like, boop. Anyway, let's check it out. Bam! You see that shit right there? That's pretty good. Now we gotta find us a center line here, since we know that we are relatively flat on our base. So the idea here is if we find center here, we put a hole on this side, and we put a hole on this side, we can pass our round stock through, and it'll support itself. All we gotta do is just kind of weld around it. So this is 3 inches. That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said.
On the money. Let's be extra redundant too. As forgiving as metal is, it's not as forgetting. I'm the one that's forgetting. Where is our tape measure? Wouldn't be a work day unless we had a loss of some sort of tool. But as for me being the tool, I'm right here. Oh, let's call this 11, and what do we got here? 11 13/16, and 31 3/8. All right, pilot hole. Let's hope the hole saw does just as well. Okay, we're gonna get us some lube. And you probably don't want to hear that. Alright, so that hole saw couldn't cut a fart if it needed to. So what I did was I just scored where the hole needs to be with the hole saw. That's about all that it's good for. Check it out. Alright, so I think we just totally missed everything I just shot. Anyway, had to redo the airline on the plasma cutter. So we got air pressure, we got power. I don't think we're gonna pop breakers. Let's see what we can do here. Bam! Plasma cutter, baby. All right, so iPhone just died. So now we're gonna play with this guy. Just trying to make it as simple as possible so that I wasn't uploading multiple video streams from multiple different devices, but I guess that's what you gotta do. So let me see. Where's my horizontal? Alright. But so far so good, man. Plasma cutter helped out a whole bunch. That was super cool. I haven't used that thing in forever. So what you missed, I think I got it, but if I didn't, I'm gonna be redundant and redo it here. So the air supply line going into the plasma cutter was rotted, so it was leaking. So I went to go replace that, and then in taking that off, I saw that they just had an air chuck barb hose clamped with tape and all kinds of other crazy stuff, and it wasn't so good. So let me see if I can show you right here. So this was there was the leak. This was attached to this with a little bit of this and a couple of those. So we got rid of all that crap and we redid our coupler on our airline. So we've got our coupler. Look at that. Bam, brand new. All right. So bring you up to speed now. So I gotta stop saying so much. So square tubing, prepped it, ready for weld. Cut out the plasma cutter, ready to weld. We're gonna do a quick little mock-up right now. See what we got going here. That's decently level. Like that's almost at 90.
Decent.
That's pretty damn square. But that doesn't mean that's level with the ground. So let's see what the level says. Okay, so it's off just a tiny bit. So if that came up, it's pretty damn level though. Tell you what, let's give it a little tiny shim. There we go. Opposite sides. Am I frying bacon over here? Just my own bacon? Just plasma cutting? Yeah. You can tell from over there that I'm a good welder, huh? So we're Rick approved, man. That's better than OSHA. All right, back at it again. So in conclusion to cutting apart all that metal, putting together a rack, let me show you what it's for, in case you couldn't figure it out. So I needed a rack for my weight plates so that I could have these in the house and out of the way so I could use my cute little gym here. Considering that was all scrapped, I think it came out all right. So now we get to the fun stuff. We get to the meat and potatoes. We're gonna get back at the sweet patina door situation. So the idea today is that we're gonna take all of that extra metal that we cut off. We're gonna burn it all together and figure out how to make some sort of cool stand so that this door will stand up all on its own. I think what we need to do is figure out, and I'm sure it exists, but I don't know it because I'm not an engineer, but is there a formula or a ratio of height versus base? Like if something's 4 feet tall, does the base need to be half of that wide or half of that long or something like that? So I'm gonna do some digging and see if I can find that and let you know what I find, because you might use this one day, who knows? Maybe you're gonna make a display stand or speaker stand or TV stand, engine stand, whatever. A base for something that needs to stand upright. So let me see what I can find and figure out what we're gonna do here. You'll never guess what I figured out. So I did a little bit of research on the Google box, and from all the data that I've gathered, I've determined that I don't have patience to play on the internet, so screw it. I'm just gonna go ahead and go at it and see what happens. It's scrap anyway, so what's the worst thing that's gonna come from all this? We learn something? Well, who wants to do that, right? Anyway, yeah. So let's figure it out. I'm gonna start cutting some stuff up, go from there. That wasn't too bad, but it wasn't too good either. Had to cut into those welds to weaken them, and then yeah, we got her to break, so that was cool. So there we go. All right, next, probably gonna clean this thing up a little bit, and that's pretty boring. So I'm gonna have at it, and I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. So hope you're having fun, cause boy, I am. We're gonna call this bacon. couple ideas, but the bottom of that door doesn't have much integrity left. So I have to figure that one out. I think we'll get it. I ain't scared. But I think the first part of this whole thing is going to be building up space. Not sure what that means or what that looks like just yet, but I'm going to figure it out. Show time. All right. We have the T. Actually, it's kind of like a shift pattern, right? Which is cool. So reverse. No, let's go first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse. So we're rocking a 5-speed here, so that's cool. But we got some metal prepped. We're gonna stack this bad boy to give us a little bit of elevation. And then I think we might drill in or weld a bolt or do some sort of collar situation for the door to slide over. Haven't gotten that far yet, but where we have gotten is we brought out Trusty Blue, the old Miller-Matic 185. She's an oldie, but she's a goodie. So I'm going to do a little bit more prep here to expose some good clean metal and get some tacking going and attacking after that. So let's burn it. So I heard that my Uncle Freddie's been watching the channel. So that's pretty cool. That means a lot to me. Thank you, Uncle Freddie. Thank you, Uncle Freddie. I did marry into a pretty cool family. Bunch of hippies and hot rodders. Let's burn it. I really should be ashamed of myself. That was a dirty, dirty tip. That's what happens when you don't clean your galvanized. I heard something about milk. I don't know what that's all about, but apparently when you weld galvanized, you gotta drink milk or weld with milk or cry over spilt milk or something. I don't really know. Whatever. That's something. Look at that. Man, I don't know about you, but I think a little bit of humidity does the trick. So what do we got today? Precipitation. Doesn't tell me. Let me check the thermostat. Here, why don't you check this out? Definitely an overkill for what we're doing. You know, you should always take pride in your work and do a good job. 63% humidity. Good for the skin, apparently good for the welds. Alright, so maybe this is on the door and it's drilled out. There's a bolt mounted to this, coming up from the bottom, goes through the hole, put a little nut on there, and you're secure. Then when you gotta travel, you undo that, you take the door off, your base sits nice and flat, and there you go. Trying to make this as simple as I can because I know Blake doesn't have a whole bunch of room in that wagon, but man, I really hope this thing goes on tour with him. It's gonna be cool. I'm putting lots of love into it, and I'm excited to give it to him at Roundup. And again, by the time you guys get this, Roundup will probably have come and gone, but hey man, I'm a one-man army, what can I say? All right, so I'm gonna go get a moving blanket so I can throw this door up here and figure out what we're gonna do with that. I'll probably drape it with some fiberglass so we don't catch it on fire. And I will see you then. Now, soon, in a minute, shortly. Just hang on. Come here, get over here. What are you doing? All right. So you see what we got going on here? So that's what that extra piece sitting on the bottom part of the door. But I don't know if that's gonna work for us. So the other option is to have it somewhere right there. And actually, you know what? Look at that. I think I like that better. But by attaching this piece right here to that part of the door, there's more integrity there and I can get some good welds in there. So I think that's probably the better way to go. Man, I'm getting excited for this. There we go. Keeps it off the ground. You're gonna see the logo. Right here, when the glass is in, you're gonna see stickers. It should be pretty cool. And man, we are slinging batteries with this thing. What is going on? Anyway, so yeah, I think that's the deal. Let me show you with this door here real quick. Let's one hand this. So this is what I'm talking about. Look at that. We can't weld to that. That's garbage. But we can weld to this. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll even leave this in there because since this has a pinch in it or a roll, that even adds more integrity. We might flatten this out a little bit with a body hammer. But yeah, I think that's the way to go. I know it's the way to go. And oh dang, I'm all greasy, look at that. No, it's sweaty out here, it's getting a little bit warm. But I do it for you guys, so let's get it on. What would we ever do without the hobo freight? Bam, body man in a box. So I cleaned this bad boy up, had the mill scale and rust and stuff on there. You know, we like the patina, but we don't like all that crap. And then where it's gonna go, we're gonna have to clean that edge up a little bit too. I think if we, probably, and really probably right up to the edge, to be honest with you. Hopefully we have enough on here to get some decent tacks. But we're going to go ahead and mark off just roughly where we need to clean some metal. We want to pull this all the way up the door. I think that'll work. Flapper action here. We're gonna figure out where we need to drill. So I was gonna mark center on this, which is fine, but we also want to make sure we find center on the door. So that's pretty close right there. Let's see, we are looking at, about 27. Let's see, back here, that's the same. So we're about 27 3/8. I think we're gonna have a little visitor, and I have a feeling that this is probably gonna be the start of what all you YouTube veterans get to experience with hanger outers, popper inners. And I heard something. Was that him? Oh, no, that was just my door swinging open. We should probably put a chalk on that so that we don't break nothing. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna get at it. So there it is. All right, here's the plan. So we have our square tubing. We have the center line marked. This is gonna sit just below about a 1/4 inch, so we can throw a bead on the bottom here. We're gonna throw a bead on the top. Center punch these so we can have some pass through. So the idea is that these bolts will be welded to the stand. The bottom pass through would be the diameter of the head of the bolt. The top of the hole would be the diameter of the threaded part of the bolt. It'll slide right over the top. We can bolt it on, and Bob's your uncle, as they say.
Over the pond.
And there's the path.
Hi.
So I'm gonna start drilling and getting on this, and hopefully in a few short minutes here, you're gonna see a door standing up all on its own. And then we'll get the window in, and then we can start striping this bad boy.
Now give me the beat.
I'm gonna tack these up. I'm gonna clean that surface. I'm gonna mate them. I'm gonna tack them, and then we're gonna put our mounting bar wherever the hell it went. We're gonna mount that to the door. Door's already cleaned up, ready to go. Couple tacks, 1-inch beads all around the perimeter of that square stock, and we should be good to go.